Fact. In late 2017, someone shelled out $85,000 for less than 2 pounds of white Alba truffles, with $4,000 a pound being the usual price for high-quality truffles. So why are truffles so expensive? In this video, we'll look at 5 reasons why. Stick around to the end of the video to figure out just how badly climate change has affected the truffle industry. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more So Expensive videos. Let's get cracking. It's not all that black and white. The first reason why truffles are so expensive is that they're not all born equal. There are about 40 to 100 species of truffles in existence, and the majority of these are not edible, with the best edible truffles coming from Europe and California. Now, truffles usually flourish deep underground, adjacent to the roots of trees like oak, hazel, poplar, and beech, and they thrive by tapping into the water and nutrients such trees are utilizing. They're coveted for their earthy flavor and aroma, and instead of being dunked in soup and eaten whole, are usually lightly shaved over foods and soups. Truffles can be divided into 4 main types, with the prices of each differing depending on how rare it is and how favorable or unfavorable the growing season was. Thus, you can expect to pay about $250 a pound for summer black truffles, $350 a pound for burgundy truffles, whose growing period stretches from September to February, $800 a pound for winter black truffles, and from $2,000 to $4,000 per pound for Alba white truffles. The latter can be had from October to December and cost the most, and mainly because they're a lot more fragile than other types of truffles and easily affected by the less than perfect weather conditions. Yeah, truffles can be very expensive, but white truffles are the most expensive of them all. Let's take a break here for the quiz. How much truffle make up truffle oils? Is the answer A, 3%, B, 10%, C, none, or D, 65%? Think you know the answer? Write it right now in the comment section below and keep watching to the end of the video to find out if you're correct as we reveal the answer. Cultivation is a mission impossible scenario. The next reason why truffles are so expensive is that they're almost impossible to successfully cultivate. If truffle cultivation was so easy, farmers all over the world would have long flooded the market with them, crashing prices to the point where these things can be bought for pennies a pound. That hasn't happened because it costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time before the optimum growing conditions are necessary for successful truffle cultivation to be replicated. And even with optimum growth conditions, harvests on truffle farms tend to be on the small side, which means that it might be a very long time before any truffle farm can harvest enough and earn enough to make a profit. Successful truffle cultivation requires planting the right sort of trees in the right type of soil, inoculating these with the right truffle spores, and hoping for the best. Frequent irrigation is necessary, and even after trees and truffle spores have been planted, plus labor and money sunk into it, it's not guaranteed that truffles will successfully grow on a truffle farm. When they do grow, it might be more than half a decade before the truffle farmer can get a bountiful harvest that he or she can be proud of. These days, however, up to 70% of the truffles consumed worldwide are cultivated, though the best truffles are normally still found in the wild. Truffles are sneaky. The third reason why truffles cost so much is that they're sneaky. It's actually rather hard to find. As previously mentioned, truffles tend to grow near trees like oak and beech, but finding exactly which tree has truffles growing near it is a hard job. Back in the day, pigs were used in truffle hunting by smelling out truffles for the hunter. There was a problem, however, in that during truffle hunting, pigs tended to eat any truffles they sniffed up and dug up. Also, once pigs sniff truffles, they tend to get rather excited, and in that excitement will damage the environment they found the truffle in, making it hard for more truffles to grow there in the future. That's why Italy banned truffle hunting pigs during the mid-1980s. The more you know. Eventually, dogs were specially trained for the role and have turned out to be rather excellent at it. Training these dogs is also, though, a time-consuming and resource-consuming endeavor, just as you would expect. And despite their training, there are truffle hunting dogs that end up eating the truffle they sniff out and dig out before the hunter can get there. Once the presence of truffles has been indicated by a trained canine, it must be painstakingly dug out by hand. This takes time and patience, and harvesting them any other way will result in their being damaged to an unacceptable extent. Truffle hunting isn't the easiest job in the world, and despite all the sweat and labor involved, the typical truffle hunter only gets his hands on a few ounces, 2 to 3 actually, of truffles. They are seasonal and not storable. The fourth reason why truffles are expensive is that they're seasonal crops that can't be stored or refrigerated. Once harvested, they need to be processed and shipped to customers as fast as possible. 5% of the weight of a truffle disappears daily, which means that once it's been dug out of the bowels of the earth, truffles start getting smaller, and the smaller they get, the less they're going to bring once they're put on sale. Additionally, 5 days after being harvested, the pungent smell of truffle will have, and this results in a reduced value too. The taste is also negatively affected. Truffles essentially become worthless some 7 to 10 days after the harvest. Truffles are also seasonal, so getting them outside of the few seasons that they grow in is really hard. Now, would you spend $4,000 and end up buying a kilo of white truffles? Let us know in the comment section below. Climate change. The fifth reason why truffles are so expensive can be explained by the harmful effects of climate change. Due to climate change, global warming, and loss of woodland, the harvest of wild truffles has shown an alarming decline. For example, during the 19th century, at least 1,000 tons of wild truffles were harvested annually. This is, however, dwindled to about 30 tons at present. Moreover, edible truffles are normally found in the wild places like Italy, Spain, and France. However, the trees these fungi depend on to flourish are being increasingly cut down for the expansion of cities, farms, and the like. With summers getting drier and hotter around the globe, it's increasingly difficult for truffles to thrive and absorb the moisture and nutrients needed to make them big enough to be worth harvesting. As our world gets hotter and harsher to life, there are fears that truffles will vanish altogether because they can no longer be grown on farms or found in the wild. That would be a pity. And now then, what were you waiting for? The quiz answer. Earlier on, we asked you how much truffles constituted in truffle oils. Drum roll, please. The answer is none. Yeah, there's actually no truffles in truffle oil, with a specific chemical compound being used to mimic the smell and taste of truffle. Click on the playlist to the right to binge watch reasons why foods such as macarons and Ferrero Rocher chocolates are so expensive. We'll see you there.